We are thrilled to invite to the PubTalk stage Affton Coffelt, founder and CEO of Broken Top Brands. Affton has spent the past 7 years managing a rapidly growing product-based company with a focus on sales, marketing, and product development packaging designs. Her efforts have earned her several accolades: the 2019 Ben Chamber Entrepreneur of the Year Award, the 2020 U.S. Bank and Cascade Business News Accomplish Under 40 Award, and the title of Cascade Business News' fastest growing company in Central Oregon in 2021. Coffelt's unwavering enthusiasm for business and deep industry knowledge have propelled the brand into national retailers such as Whole Foods, Barnes & Noble, and Anthropologie. Welcome, Affton. Where are you?
It's been a while.
Great to see you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think the last time I stood up here was probably 4 or 5 years ago. So I made a lot of notes. Like, my page looks really scary, but I'm only going to go back about 2 years because a lot's happened, and I want to share that story with you. I want to start with challenges. I know that during these pub talks, we hear a little bit of the ebbs and flows, the positives in CPG. But I think starting with the negative is always, a little bit better, right? So challenges that we've faced in the last 2 years: seasonality of our brand. We get the question a lot, like, are you a third, fourth quarter business? What affects the drive of your sales? We definitely are third and fourth quarter, which has been a real struggle with our cash flow. Buyer relationship shifting in the market, like COVID was super, super interesting for everybody, including our buyers. A lot of our whole food buyers that we had gained really good relationships with have moved on. So that's a challenge that we faced within the last couple of years. Manufacturing in Bend and in Oregon. I'm sure, can you raise your hand if you manufacture here? Andy, yeah. It's a struggle, right? Like rising costs of importing and exporting raw goods, finished goods, with no major freeways or interstates, right? And fuel just keeps going up. Like, that's a huge portion of our overhead and our growth. Staffing opportunities have been challenging with increasing costs of living. And I know I'm not the only one that can contest to that, being in CPG. Commercial spaces are scarce and extremely expensive. But yeah, I think that kind of gives you a little bit of a glimpse of the challenges that we face post-COVID and even during COVID. But now I want to talk about what we've really been up to the last couple of years. About a year ago, we brought on our first real investment into Broken Top. His name is Jake Peavy. He is a former Major League Baseball player. Some of you may have heard of him, some of you not. But he is actually an investment partner for us. So we've worked to build a relationship with him, and we're super excited to see what that will unfold to. We relocated our headquarters from the north side of Bend to the east side, increasing our space to 18,000 square feet. A little bit of cost increase. We launched a super cool collaboration with Crater Lake Spirits within the last couple of months, introducing our Prohibition Nights collection, a candle that doubles as reusable drinkware. This is something that is huge in consumer packaging right now. Sustainability, reusability. And I'll get a little bit more into like our collaborations after this. Key accounts. I think Shannon had mentioned some that we are in, but recently we have kind of lost some key accounts intentionally. We are working to really scale back and figure out like what works for us, what aligns with us, right? Whole Foods being one of those. In the last 2 years, we've actually grown to what they call global, meaning we're in 6 regions now, which is pretty cool, including Canada. We have expanded into home goods / TJX companies throughout USA, Canada, and Europe. We did partner with Barnes & Noble last year, which was a super cool collaboration. So key accounts are still there, and stressful at the same time. And then our Geotanical collection, a whole new men's line that we've launched, which most people don't know about, that consists of bar soaps, the candle, sprays, beard oil, solid colognes. The cool part about this line is it's put us into a different section of stores, right? Like before we were kind of hanging out in candles, home fragrance. this has put us on shelves in stores that we never thought we would, like Von Maur, right? Like launching into this whole men's space. So that was really listening to our buyers and what is missing in the industry, and men's beauty care has been one of those sectors. Boutique expansion and growth. We spread like crazy during COVID and opened up distribution into Canada. So that was kind of our first toe dip into international distribution. And we actually just attended Expo West for the first time ever and spoke with distributors, specifically targeting and working with Business Oregon to launch into Japan. There's a huge market for our product there. So we're pretty excited and also really, really scared about that. We have increased from 2021 to 2023. We've had a 67% growth on our direct-to-consumer website. Yeah. That's a little look of like our landing page. Yeah, this has been a huge accomplishment because we've always been B2B, which was kind of a crazy model when we were pitching to EDCO and BBC, 6 years ago. Like, what about your direct-to-consumer platform? We're like, our what? Our 1% of sales? We don't need to talk about that. Yeah, so that's been a super, super fun journey to like tap into a whole different side of the business. We've learned who we are. We are black and white, which is crazy. Like, we've come up with this look that everybody knows and is familiar with, including in the men's line, but we've tried so many things outside of our brand, and every time it's like, no, that's not what we are. We are black and white. Car fresheners. We have car fresheners out front for anybody that wants to grab one, but this was a funny little addition that we launched as kind of a promotional product, and we launched it on our website because the first order that we got, all of the car fresheners were stapled backwards. Andy's laughing because he was there for that. We're like, what are we going to do with these other than give them away for free? And it was during COVID. We're like, who are we going to give them to? So we launched them on our website, and all of our retailers were like, why can't we have these? So we silently joke that we should be a car freshener company. And then giving it the hot hand, knowing when to quit, what is working and what our strengths are. Like that, I think, has been one of the number one accomplishments over the last 2 years for us. What's to come? I had mentioned a little bit about Jake coming on board. We are actually working right now on an endorsement role for him for our Geotanical collection, which is our men's line. It's kind of cool, like exciting. I've never done this. I've been doing a lot of research, so more to come on that. We're still giving back. I personally am endorsing and am very passionate about Opportunity Knocks. I think a lot of you know my current role now is the president, which is a big role to take, filling after Jarrell Braceland. She's amazing, and the organization is growing and changing a lot, and I'm excited to be a part of it. But then with BT, we continue to support a few of our favorites. Transitional Co-op is one of them with Bend Lapine School Districts. We work with employing a ton of youth in our community, which is great. One Tree Planted, we do a ton of give back to them. And then internships, Think Wild, and that's just to name a few. Little sneak peek, we've been working for probably the last 3 years on cleaning and laundry products, and COVID kind of shot us in the foot with that. But that's something that is coming down the pipeline. And then part of what we pitched a couple years ago was our sustainable packaging company called EvoPack, which is a division of Broken Top Brands. This is a biodegradable and compostable lid that we're trying to take to market to replace all of the plastic that is in use currently with consumer packaged products. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a lot of work, and actually, I didn't really think I had an ask, but if somebody knows of a manufacturer in the U.S. that could help us with this project, please reach out to me because we keep hitting walls. And then refill options. It's super popular, again, like focusing more on sustainability and reusable products. Most of our products come in glass, and being able to offer reusable lotions, soaps, refill packages, that's something that we're looking deeper into. And then more collaborations. I think that's kind of the trend right now in CPG, like working with other companies that are similar to size with same missions, same brands, same ethics. So yeah, it's going to be exciting to see what we roll out.
I know, I don't want to sneak up on you. I'm like,
gotta get through it.
Love the back stairs, Matt. Really tricky. Okay, I want everyone to clap for you again because they're just so proud, so impressed. And it has been a minute since we've been on stage together. It feels like it was just very recently, but I'm sure for you, you feel like every single week that has passed by because you have really accomplished quite a lot.
Yeah, I think, again, looking back, I think the last time I actually did a company update, it was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, because I think we were at McMenamins, right?
Oh, yeah. And then I moderated a panel at BBC.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been a hot second.
Yeah, and you've been busy the whole time.
I know.
So are you currently hiring?
Why, you want to come to work for me?
Well, I just...
Do you want to endorse the botanical collection?
Absolutely, yes.
Then yes,
100%.
We don't pay at all, but
cool.
You can come to work for us.
That feels right. That feels right. I'm rich in community, so it's all good. Okay, so you're kind of hiring, you're kind of not hiring, but then I want to talk about the caps. Whose brainchild is this, and tell me more about it. What is it made out of?
Well, that's the part that's been tricky. So we've actually vetted probably 3 different manufacturers in the US, and the goal is to take this not just for our brand, which could suffice, right? Like that could be a product that we're like, okay, this is just something we're gonna do for BT, but the real goal behind it is that we want a replacement in the industry. There's recyclable plastic, there's recycled plastic, and there's metal. And the problem with the metal lids in the marketplace is most of them are food grade, which a lot of you use in CPG, but they have linings on the inside that make them non-recyclable.
Right.
So for me, I'm like, okay, we could go to toppers, but what is the real solution here? And really, it boils down to price point too. If we're gonna take this to market to our distributors, it has to be within a price point that is competitive to replace what's in the industry. So we've worked a lot with trying to focus on US manufacturers, and it's just hitting a wall. Right, like quadruple what even our current cost is on a lid that actually is recyclable plastic. So for me, like even when Andy was on board, the whole goal was like, this needs to be a solution, not just a Band-Aid or not just something that gets looked over. We are talking to a company in China right now that can meet our price points that will make us competitive. But ultimately, even if that's the launch pad, like we would like to move and keep manufacturing in the U.S. like we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have absolutely no doubt you're going to do that. It's just
do you know somebody?
I'm going to think about it.
If you do, you're hired.
I feel like I do. I feel like I must. I need to just go look at my LinkedIn real quick.
Yeah. Okay.
Any questions for
It's a hard one.
I'm like getting excited. Yes. She has 2 questions.
Have you gone out to like Washington State University, Oregon State University to see if any of their development research teams are
Great question.
developing anything along?
So let me give her this question, then we'll hit your second one. So have you talked to any of the universities that have research teams that are developing products like this to see if they might be able to create the lid for you?
Well, the thing is, like, the material doesn't really matter what we're using it for, right? Like, we just know we have standards. We want compostability, and if we have the option, it's going to be backyard compostable versus industrial. Like, that's our goal. So the material for our application and the market that we're trying to go to, it's not super specific. It's a matter of finding a manufacturer, because there are, food distributor companies that are making clamshells and things like that. Like, that's the material that we want. The problem is it needs to be injection molded so that it has the twist. And that's where we keep running into hurdles, is manufacturers that can actually do the design that we're looking for, not the fabrication or not the material composition, if you will.
So I need to figure out how to take the hair that my dogs are shedding, injection mold it into something composite. Yes,
make it twist. It needs to twist. Yeah.
This kind of tracks with the second question, because a lot of businesses now are starting to take water out of so they don't have to have
Yes.
a plastic container. Example is, what is it?
Everest.
Flies, sort
Yep.
of laundry soap.
Yeah, there's a lot of cleaning products and.
Have you explored working with bar shampoo?
Okay, so she has this is a great question. She says a lot of companies are starting to take the water out of products, which minimizes your packaging, and she's wondering if you've looked at laundry detergent sheets or shampoo bars or like metal tubes of toothpaste concentrate or shampoo concentrate, etc.
Yeah, we're always looking at product development, right? Like, and sustainability to us means a lot, but unfortunately, like, our demographic doesn't, where we sell, we didn't start in that space, right? Like, we started in home fragrance. So anytime we launch something, specifically on the personal care, I kind of cringe a little bit because I'm like, do I really want to go further down that road? So we've talked about it, but really, like, our bread and butter is still candle manufacturing. And there's a ton of new trends right now in, like, how can you reuse, reduce? And if you go to Whole Foods, you'll see a glass vessel being sold with a paper cup that has a candle pop out that can insert. And honestly, that scares the shit out of me because it's a liability, right? Like, it takes one person to light that cup on fire, and then I'm out of business. So I have been working, I know a ton of really big candle manufacturers in this industry, and it's a buzz thing. Like, what can we do to make home fragrance? Like, that's still our sweet spot, like home fragrance. How can we make it different? And part of Evo Pack and launching that is something different, right? Like, it's different than a topper that's recyclable. It still has the aesthetic appeal because that is our customer. Our customers still want something beautiful in their home. So how can we have the best of both worlds? We've thought about shampoo bars.
If you're taking the water out of things, why wouldn't a
Yeah, and this lid isn't really tailored towards that. It really is, like, if you look at our core product, which is our candle, that is what we're talking about and targeting, and nobody else is in the industry is doing that. Yeah.
But like you said, it would quickly be probably spread to other.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as far as artisan candle companies go, like, a 9-ounce vessel is the most common vessel used. So the application, even to indie skincare products and things like that, like, I use little 4-ounce containers that have, we've researched a lot. The same twist vessel, and it's like, hey, if we can tackle, independent beauty brands that still, again, aesthetic is a huge part of consumerism. Like,
It is.
even though we all want to be great at thinking about sustainability, we still, like, naturally gravitate to beautiful products. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we don't think about the consequence of that.
Mm-hmm. Or sometimes we're just willing to do it anyways.
Yes.
Yeah. Question here.
Actually,
have you spoken to Phoenix Closures? This gentleman also looking for a job.
Not. We've talked to quite a few of our current distributors for the product. Yeah, and it's been interesting because I think with any brand, like, actually with Evo Pack, we pitched it. Andy helped me pitch it a couple years ago at BBC, and I think it was just really scrambled and not really put together. But the idea behind this concept is we need to be first to market.
So that the injection closure, the injection molded closures have contact.
I will take it. You're hired.
You beat me out. You got that injection molded closure. Yeah, smart. Okay, I think we have one more question. We can take one more question for Affton. Yes.
So, I didn't hear the last comment you made, but are you struggling with the manufacturer who can actually design it properly?
No.
Are you struggling with the manufacturer who can actually design it properly?
No. And we're far beyond that. Like, we are ready to pull the trigger. We're still molds. It's costing. Costing is our biggest issue right now. Making it comparable. We want it to be a replacement in the marketplace. That's it. Yeah.
Ugh. It's always about the money, It's just like, ugh, dang it. In a world, I don't know.
I didn't know so many people wanted to know about lids.
I know, they're really into it. Well, we're all like collecting a bag of lids. Like, what am I gonna do with these?
Hey, if you bring them, we'll reuse them. I don't know how, but we'll figure it out.
Well, and then there's this company that there's a few people have dropped, like Angelina Organic Skincare, Rome Skincare, and Sisters. there's like a drop box and you can bring your but you have to wash your mascara tubes, and I'm like, totally,
Yeah.
So it's not quite there yet, but they take these products and make them into park benches and things. So
Yeah.
we're trying, we want to do it.
Just recycle.
Yeah.
If you buy our product, just recycle, please.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all recyclable.
Well, I'm seriously so proud of you, and I just can't wait for the next update. So I'll see you in the office on Monday, huh?
Deal. Social media, right?
Yeah. Oh, boy. Thanks, Afton. Yeah, keep it going for Affton Coffelt. She's amazing.